Hi guys, it's Zakes and welcome to my character appraisal of Ophelia from the anime Claymore. I will highlight and discuss major characteristics about her and award her a letter grade at the end, which does not necessarily reflect the content I will have discussed, just my very opinionated view of her overall. This is going to be a short one though because she is a minor character who serves a very specific purpose. But before we begin, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and support my Patreon page if you care to do so. Link in the description. Now, let's begin.
Well, good. You're faster than I expected.
Claymore is an anime about a world plagued by flesh-eating monsters called Yoma that are able to disguise themselves among the humans that they prey on. The only way for people to defend against such ravenous creatures comes in the form of warrior women who have had their bodies infused with Yoma flesh. These women are feared the same way that Yoma are due to the fact that they are a double-edged sword that has the potential of becoming the very Yoma they ought to be protecting people from. They are nicknamed and are the titular Claymore after the swords of the same name that they all carry. The story follows the main character Claire, a Claymore, as she quests for revenge against a particularly nasty Yoma, dubbed the One-Horned Monster. It is along this journey that she meets the ranked number 4 Claymore, Ophelia, who is a minor antagonist who serves as a stepping stone for Claire and also happens to be a person left bereaved by the same One-Horned Monster I just mentioned. With that groundwork laid out, let's get into her major characteristics.
Come now. Don't you see you could push your power to its limit and still not come close to me? So, it's pointless to struggle.
When we first meet Ophelia, she promptly shows her true colors, which are that she is sadistic and enjoys toying with anyone she believes to be weaker than her. She immediately assaults Claire as soon as they first meet and makes a game of tormenting Rocky, or Lucky, whatever his name is, who is Claire's close traveling companion. This definitely makes her capture our attention quickly, but it also raises our expectations as to the part she is going to play. It is unfortunate that she does not get developed enough for us to truly understand her, due to her being a character meant to enlighten us about specific aspects about Claymore and nothing more. She is powerful enough to do as she pleases, as she is ranked number 4 in her generation of Claymore, which is another attention grabber. She has enough capabilities to slay an awakened being, a Claymore who has transformed into a Yoma, by herself and is quite confident in her abilities. However, she is antisocial and has no real allegiances, as she apparently kills both friend and foe by her own admission and her attempt on Claire's life.
Of course, sometimes there are loose ends, like witnesses, but you can get rid of those easy enough.
The only thing she appears to trust is her own power. But this is definitely not a good thing because as soon as she meets someone who can best her, she falls into utter despair, which I will explain shortly. She proves that once one becomes a Claymore, they begin to exhibit Yoma tendencies, such as negativity towards what motivated them to become a Claymore in the first place and have distorted memories about it. In Ophelia's case, her brother was killed by the main antagonist, the One-Horned Monster, while protecting her. The One-Horned Monster is a corrupted Claymore who awakened and had all her mental and physical inhibitions removed. Ophelia, on her part, blames her brother for dying and not being strong enough to survive and be there for her.
Brother? What brother? Who the hell am I talking about? Like I care about some weakling human who let himself get killed with a fucking smile on his face.
As her story unfolds, we discover that her feelings and memories are incorrect and delusional at best, and that the process of becoming a Claymore actually makes one begin to see and remember everything in a negative light from what it actually was, until you fall into despair and become an awakened being. Awakening itself is a process whereby the Yoma mixed in with a Claymore causes them to transform into a human-Yoma hybrid if they pass a certain level of depending on the Yoma side of their powers more than their human ones. Those that have awakened are called awakened beings and possess power and intelligence way beyond normal Yoma and are classified as such. Psychologically speaking, awakening is seen as the process by which one forgets their humanity and becomes a monster motivated by an insatiable appetite for human flesh and death. Ophelia's most hated things are Yoma and awakened beings.
Damned awakened beings. I'll never rest until I've torn every single one of you apart.
Especially Priscilla, the one-horned monster I've been talking about all along, yet in a moment of humiliating defeat, she forgets her motives and ends up, ironically so, an awakened being herself. The fact that she is initially unaware that she has awakened and acts and talks as if she was still an uncorrupted Claymore tells us how completely the change is, as she still considers herself on the side of good, which is already questionable, and acts as if she is more human than anything else.
My God, an awakened being.
What, do you see one? Where is it? I didn't catch its scent. Oh, I see, you're just playing games. Like I can't sense an awakened being.
Also after awakening, Ophelia starts craving guts and innards, and the tragedy here is that her inhuman hunger is lost on her as she seems to integrate it into what she considers normal.
Come on, what's a little bite of innards between such good friends?
When she is having her final face-off with Claire, she realizes that she has awakened, and the cry of sorrow that she gives off on this realization shows she was genuinely unable to grasp that she had become an awakened being.
I can't have awakened, it's not possible!
Her defeat after this is anticlimactic as she actually helps Claire to do so and entrusts her undistorted dream of defeating Priscilla on her conqueror. This shows that while Claymore may be corrupted, a part of them always stays human. To be honest, I do not have much to say about Ophelia because she has great moments, but they do not really meld well chronologically and are mostly forgettable as they are sandwiched between the very compelling arcs of Teresa of the Faint Smile, that of the male awakened beings, and of the Witch's Maw. I would have preferred if Ophelia was dealt with intermittently throughout the arcs rather than her being turned into cannon fodder without any proper fleshing out and lack of proper pacing as she was. She ended up seeming like her story was spliced into the main plot forcefully when she ought to have been peppered here and there and eventually defeated at some point in the story in a brilliant blaze of glory.
It's a shame, really.
Overall, I give Ophelia a D-.
And I had been told that you had potential. I guess everyone makes mistakes.
Not because he is not interesting, but because he is just used so terribly in the story and seems to be there specifically to advance another character's growth to her detriment, even if that character is the main character. She cannot escape her state as glorified cannon fodder. And what a shame. She could have been so much more. What letter grade would you have given her and for what reason? Respond in the comments down below. And that's my view on Ophelia. Thank you for watching, and I hope you share, like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more character appraisals. And please don't forget, 1,000 subscribers is the aim for now. Requests and suggestions for future videos are always welcome. Until the next video, I am Zakes and take care.
Surely you hadn't been stringing me along the whole time.